Intricate knife skills and a slow stewing process combine to create a dish that is as magnificent as its name suggests. I intend to discover the secret of this much sought-after delicacy in this city that is steeped in history. This city is a stalwart with many interesting tales to tell. It has a history that is rich, captivating, and sometimes turbulent. These 12 pairs of life-size stone animals have been witness to this history ever since they were sculpted almost 600 years ago to stand guard over the tomb of Zhu Yuanzang, the first Ming Emperor of China. Their solemn grandeur befits the stature of this city. This is NanJing, capital of the ancient and glorious Ming Dynasty. The city was also chosen to be the capital of the Republic of China by Dr. Sun Yat-sen. Surrounded by what is probably the longest city wall in the world, NanJing's history has a magical aura about it. Today, NanJing is the sprawling capital of Jiangsu province with a population of over 6 million people. As absorbing as its history are the culinary traditions of NanJing. Whoa, dude! The most interesting is its ancient tradition of snacks, and the place that is believed to be the origin of this snack tradition is the area called Fuzimiao, around the temple of Confucius. The Confucius temple is situated in the center of the scenic area along the Tsinhuai River in South Nanjing. At the entrance looms the world's largest statue of Confucius at 4 meters, weighing 2,500 kilograms. The main temple hall features a collection of 36 jade panels which depict the life of the sage. Can you tell me something about the Confucius temple?
Students come to here to praise Confucius to bless them good luck, and then they have their exams.
I've read so much about the Confucius temple snacks. Can you tell me something about that?
Because this is the area which used to have the examinations, and all these examiners come around China, so they brought different kinds of cuisines with them.
So is this where snack food became very popular?
Yes, you may say so. Yeah.
I may say so.
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's quite understandable that the snack food culture evolved around the Confucius temple. After all, there's nothing like a hungry horde of students to inspire the local street vendor. The Fuzimiao area around the temple and the nearby riverside, Guangyuan Street, lure visitors with their authentic traditional look. The restaurants and eateries in this place offer over 100 kinds of traditional food items and delicacies. They are all specialities which have been handed down from generation to generation. The most famous among these were known as the 8 treasures of the Tsinhuai River, and some of them still survive. Evening time sees crowds of locals jostling to try out the snacks, and I joined them. This restaurant called Jiang Youji has been around for over 100 years, and it boasts one of the 8 treasures. Fried beef dumplings, another very popular traditional snack here in Nanjing. Among the other specialities of this area are the different kinds of spiced beans. What's the name of this store? Chuang Yan Dou. Okay, the name of the store is Chuang Yan Dou, and it offers a traditional bean snack, which is an alternative to the fried dumplings and other sorts of dishes that you get here, like the duck's eggs and the roasted duck. The NanJing snack experience would be incomplete without a boat cruise down the Tsinhuai River. buy a ticket and take a boat ride on this lit-up fairy tale, it's something not to be missed. How much for one ticket?
60.
60 RMB. Okay, I'll buy one. This is a cruise that recalls the ancient days when the Qinhuai River was flanked by wine shops and restaurants, and people feasted on the delicacies churned out by the celestial chefs of the Ming Dynasty. I wonder if it is one of these delicacies that I'm going to learn to cook. I've learned about NanJing's snack foods, and now it's time to explore other aspects of NanJing's cuisine. And taking me through that is a young lady called Chris Yi-Don-Win, who teaches Mandarin to expats living here. Ooh, what's this dish? Fruits on a skewer, like kebab fruits.
Yeah. In Chinese, you know what's that called? 糖葫芦. 糖葫芦. Because you see the outside, looks shiny, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's hard. It's candy. It's a kind of sweet.
The candied fruits were just an appetizer. The real feast begins now in the evening. Chris has brought me to NanJing Dabaidang, a well-known restaurant that specializes in traditional NanJing cuisine. And hosting me is none other than the CEO of the restaurant himself, Mr. Zhao. I believe he is quite a gourmet, and I hope he can offer me some tips on what dish I should learn to cook. We have this wonderful gastronomic feast laid before us. We have a mix of simple dishes and also some dishes that look quite complicated. Where did these recipes come from? And over the course of time, has he modified these recipes and changed them and created new dishes?
这些菜肴呢，多数呢都是我们南京江南地区南京的一些传统的民间的菜肴。有一些很传统的东西呢，经过这么多年的演变啊，慢慢的也已经就是随着时代的变化。比方来说，这个河虾，我们过去就放在油里头炸一炸，现在呢我们用了一些柠檬，加了这样这个味道呢，使它更具有这种清香的口味。你像我们这个龙虾，我们也是做了一些调整，在龙虾里面放的有非常好的花雕酒，还有蜂蜜，还有一些特殊的一些香料。
What's the most popular dish that you have?
最受欢迎的有这么几道。你像这个菜看起来不怎么起眼，这是我们南京人已经几百年来每年过节都必须吃的一道素菜，叫素什锦，就是这样子的一道菜。
这里面应该有10种原料。
对，10种以上的原料。
If you were to suggest a dish for me to cook, which is steeped in history, what would he recommend?
清炖狮子头。炖狮子头。OK.
Quite a mouthful. I've managed to get through that. 清炖狮子头. Can I cook it? This is my first time cooking it. Does he think I can manage through this dish, or is it a difficult dish? Is it going to be a challenge for me?
这个狮子头呢，看起来很简单，就是用猪肉。猪肉呢，就是70%的肥肉和30%的瘦肉，这两个肉呢放在一起，用刀一刀把它给切出来。
Not only has Mr. Zhao suggested the dish, he has asked his colleague, Alice, to find me the right teacher. The person who has been entrusted the job of teaching me to cook my local dish is the master chef of the NanJing Dabaidang restaurant itself.
陈师傅你好。
你好。
你好 ，This is Marc， 这是 Marc。
Chef Chen, hi, I'm Marc. 你好。
你好。
Nice to meet you. The dish I'm going to cook here today, it's known as the Jingduan Chisito, which is actually a stewed pork but made to look like a lion's head. So I'm here with Master Chef Chen, who's going to teach me how to cook this dish. And my lovely assistant Chris is going to help me through the translation and figuring out what the dishes and the ingredients are involved.
陈师傅，今天我们所用的材料是什么呢？能不能帮我们介绍一下？
可以，猪筋肉，肥膘，鸡蛋，白菜，小青菜，盐，味精，料酒，生姜，葱。
Meat has to be cut while it's frozen so that it retains that nice cube shape, and it all has to be cut into the same size as well. I recall Mr. Chow telling me last night that cutting is an integral part of this dish, and that the meat cannot be processed in a grinder.
放到一起的时候要注意比例。
Does it have to be the same?
有讲究的，这个在夏天就是在这个季节是4比6。
Okay.
But Chef Chen also adds that the proportion of fat must be higher in winter. So the fat plays two roles actually. It's an integral part of the dish because it brings out the flavor of the dish. But also during the winter, the proportion of the fat in the dish is increased to 7:3 practical because, you know, in the winter you need to stock up on your fat reserves so you stay warm, and in the summer you don't.
下面我们就把准备好的原料放到锅里面开始做。
So in goes the pork fat and the chopped pork. Chef Chen now mixes the ingredients, and he says it is important to do it with the hands.
我们准备好的生姜
，Chinese cooking wine.
Chinese cooking wine, okay.
料酒
Salt.
这是味精，蛋，
egg. In goes 1 egg white. So Chris, now the real cooking is about to start. I wanna get right in there, so I'm just gonna switch places with you. Got to keep a keen eye on what's going on here because I'm going to be cooking this dish later on for some guests.
对，这是一个重要的手法程序。
Is it to tenderize the meat, to make it tender and soft?
就这样子。
Chef Chen tells me that one small little act, like getting the force right while smacking the pork into the clay pot, has a large impact. It affects the stickiness, how the pork sticks together, makes sure it doesn't break apart, the appearance, and gives it a nice shiny look when you serve it. Chef Chen is now shaping the mixture into a large ball, which is what gives it the rather grand name of a lion's head. In it goes. Oh, careful. You can actually see how the meat hasn't spread apart and dissolved in the water, and it has stayed in that nice compact ball shape because he really packed it in before he put it inside there. Have a look. How long does it have to sit here for?
5个小时。
5 hours.
5 hours. It was about 15 minutes of preparation, but 5 hours of cooking. Wow. It's going to be a long dish. Chef Chen is now putting some cabbage leaves into the pot over the meatball. He says it is done to retain the color of the meat. How practical and creative is that? I want to ask Chef Chen why it's so popular here, how it evolved over time.
这套菜本身是从扬州传入南京的，后来在南京得到了更大的发展，尤其是在我们南京大排档得到了更大的发展。
Okay.
How did it develop? And did the ingredients change? Did the taste change?
应该是在原料上面有了一点的变化，口味上基本上传承了以前的口味。
Chef Chen adds that the method used to cook this dish earlier was the traditional braising method, whereas they now stew it to bring out more of the flavor. This is what the meatball looks like after 4 or 5 hours of cooking. We took a break in between because with all this boiling going on, it's become a bit of a sauna in here. Have a look. So after all this boiling, Chef, I noticed we haven't used that vegetable yet. Chef Chen takes out the cabbage leaves. He adds the salt, some more MSG, and then the greens. I believe the greens form the mane of the lion in this dish called the lion's head. And now it's time to taste this absolutely delicious looking dish. You know what? It's as smooth as tofu. Meat just melts in your mouth. 谢谢你, huh? 谢谢 for teaching me.
不用
Thank you for
不用
teaching
没关系
me.
没关系
Okay. So I have learned how to cook the dish. It's time for me to cook it for my guests here in NanJing. It's time for me to go shopping to get all my ingredients right. I'm in Shanghai Lu, and that's Shanghai Road, which is a popular wet market. And I'm hoping to get all my veggies and even my meats. Good morning, ni hao. Nice and fresh. Hello. These eggs are, they're so different. This is brown, this is blue. What egg is this?
Egg, duck egg.
Oh, this is a duck's egg, but I still don't know why it's light blue, but it's still amazing. In fact, speaking of duck's eggs and duck, steamed duck is actually a very popular dish, a snack food here in NanJing. But it's only available in August, so I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna buy 2 of the chicken eggs for now. Looking for the Crown Building. It's where Chef Chang says that he buys all his knives. And the knife is an integral part of this dish. A good chef needs good tools, and I'm here to buy a good tool that's going to help me chop my pork up. You know, knife buying is not as easy as it looks. You know, it's all about the weight, the balance, the feel for the knife, the color, the edge of the blade. I'm liking this. It's very light, very sharp. I got myself my knife. Not only did I learn to cook at the famous NanJing Ta Pai Tao restaurant, I've also found a host who's gonna try my dish, courtesy Alice. My host happens to own a modular kitchen company, and he has agreed to let me inaugurate one of his brand new kitchens with my dish. Good to go. See you later. Chef Chen told me that this dish originated in Yangzhou. But another quaint fact I learned about Yangzhou is that it is known for its skill in 3 knives: the barber's knife, the pedicure knife, and the cooking knife. Whoa. And when I see how much chopping is involved in this dish, I can attest to the importance of the kitchen knife at least. Stirring my pork fat in my clay pot. I think I know why the chef was emphasizing on the cube proportions, because the bigger the cube, the harder it is to grip. And then it starts sliding through your fingers, and that's what makes it bounce out of the clay pot. We didn't see that. It's finally come into a nice consistency where the meat's actually sticking together. And I think I'm ready to start making the pork ball. I think my lion's head pork ball is ready to go into this clay pot of semi-boiled water I have here. A little bit of a last minute shaping, and try not to burn my fingers. In it goes. Voila, look at that. It did not even splash apart onto the fire. There we go. I'm just gonna wrap it around pork ball like that. One. It's been 5 hours. My lion's head pork meatball is done. And joining me to taste it is a formidable team of judges. Alice, the marketing manager of the NanJing Dabaitang restaurant, her friend Daniel, who is a journalist, and Mr. Zhang, the owner of this modular kitchen company. There you go, Mr. Zhang. Let's put my skills to the test. What do your taste buds say? That was a quick reaction. Oh, lovely, he likes it. Great, he likes it, smiles around. I got the consistency right. Alice. Tasting it.
Very good.
Very good.
You are excellent chef.
Awesome. Daniel, let me serve you. Taste the dish that I cooked and let me know what you think of it.
It smells good.
Oh, it smells good.
Yeah.
Part 1, I fast. Smell.
这个做法就是你和我妈比的话，就是你做的肯定比就是现在的做法比我妈做的都好。
I'm happy Daniel's going to be in trouble when his mommy finds out, but it's okay because we have smiles all around the table. Everybody liked it. The lion's head pork balls. I have cooked the Qingfen Jushito, the lion's head pork ball. Much of the content of my guests, I am very happy with myself. It is not a dish that's often cooked at home because, as you see, it was quite complicated, and with the long cooking times, rising electricity bills and gas, you can understand it's a practical reason people are not cooking it at home. But guess what I found? Locals claim that this entire street, Shizhijiao, is devoted to the lion's head, with almost every other establishment bearing the lion's head either in its name or in its design. Lion's Bridge. I picked the right dish and I'm happy with myself.